Welcome to Puzzle with Emilia. That's me. And this is part 2 of the 2-part unfiltered interview with the 2-time world champion, 2-time Spanish champion, Alejandro Clemente León. And we're going to dive deep in how did he get so fast, what does he really think about puzzles. If you haven't watched the part 1, go check it out that first, and then come back here and enjoy the second and last part of our very long and very insightful interview.
I finished it last year, so
I need to address you as a doctor?
it seems difficult, but I believe different textures that can help, but 55 minutes, 1 hour, maybe, yeah.
You know what? I will bring this to Spain. So you gotta prove yourself someday.
Of course.
You just won yourself a puzzle.
Nice.
Congratulations.
So this is maybe one puzzle that you believe it's easy, and then when you have to assemble it, you realize that it's not that easy as it was, and maybe it's maybe more difficult than easy.
But if I'm like 100% honest, I just fully disagree with you.
Was the first time that I did a solo puzzle, and I finished it in 1 hour, 1 minute, I believe.
And then I think you mentioned it again later, and then I was like, oh, you're serious.
Oh yeah, totally.
I assume there is lots of people who want to talk with you and take pictures with you, and I don't know, whatever they ask you. How do you kind of feel about that, and how do you navigate through it?
Well, it's something that I wasn't. Well, I'm not very used to this, but for me, it's not a problem. For me, it's not a problem to take photos, or if someone wants that I sign a puzzle. Last year, I had a crazy story that I believe during the ceremony, someone, a grandmother with her grandbaby, asked me if I could sign her too. So it was like for a baby of 1 year old, and was crazy. But yeah, it's something for me. It's fun. It makes me feel fine with that. So I have no problems. And of course,
do you ever get tired of the attention?
What?
Do you ever get tired of the attention?
At some point, of course, if I cannot stop with this.
Really? What are you doing? We talked about this. Sorry.
No problem. Yeah, at some point, if I feel like it's constant, so that I cannot have my time, could be a problem for me.
Yeah.
But I believe it's something respectful. So during the World contest, of course, you are, and I remember that I have been there all the week, and most of the times I could walk alone, talk with my friends, with my parents, with anyone, making me annoyed. So I believe it's not this kind of pressure that maybe people can see on TV, that lot of cameras, lot of people. For the moment, it's so nice, and I like it.
Yeah, I think it's kind of like my personal own biggest fear. Like I like discussing one-on-one with people, but this is kind of like an insider's joke with my family and friends. I hate people.
Yeah.
I cannot stand like being in the crowds, and I'm introverted in a way that I'm very social. Obviously, you probably got the image. I can talk and stuff, but my energy levels go very low very fast when I talk with people. And also because I'm Finnish person, I don't do any small talk, so I think I come off a little bit rude most of the times, because I warm up very slow when people come to talk to me, and I'm just looking at them like,
yeah. I understand.
What are you? And I think maybe you don't have this problem, but I feel like I sometimes, and as I said, I want everybody to feel welcome to come to talk to me as well. But I think sometimes because people watch my YouTube videos, they know a lot about me. I have no idea who are they. So when I get off guard very easily when somebody comes to ask like, oh, how is Willy? Willy's my dog. And then I'm like, like, it's hard to explain. Like it just gets me off guard. And then I feel like I seem rude because it takes me like a moment to collect myself.
Well, that's everyone has its personality. I know that here in Spain we used to be, of course, every person, not all people in Spain is like more open-ended, but I live being open-ended. I saw my mom, my dad, they are both open people, so don't have problems to talk with anyone, including my mom. Last year tried to talk with Evie. She loved her, and she didn't know about anything about English, and she tried to say some words. And I believe in this sense we have this kind of social, of social personalities.
Yeah, I know. And I think the culture, like the manners are a little bit different. For example, Alfonso always comes and gives me like these cheek kisses. I never know, does it start from left or right? And is it like
That's
3 or 4? And where do you put your hands? And what do you do after that? Obviously, I do have my in-laws are from South America, so I'm kind of like used to it. That doesn't get me off guard, but sometimes I'm like, and this is actually funny. I didn't realize that people have major issue with this in the event. So my husband is a native Spanish speaker, so we didn't have any that much issues like navigating to Valladolid. But when I came back to Finland and I discussed with the other Finnish people who were there, I realized that they were struggling the whole week. Nobody speaks English in a restaurant, not in stores. They cannot ask for directions from anybody. So you should do a video about teaching people like the most important Spanish phrases to survive the week.
Yeah, I could do it. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, maybe the problem here is like that the World Jigsaw Championship is taking place in Valladolid because Alfonso is from Valladolid, and of course he has to organize and he has to be there. It's a lot of work that I don't want to know how much hours he spent on that. And of course, we cannot ask him to do it from another city, and he has to go every weekend taking flights. So I know, but I hope that with this increase of people, that maybe we can change the city in some years. Maybe not only in Spain, Madrid or Barcelona, which are the most big cities, but maybe in another regions from Europe or maybe outside Europe. I hope that, to be honest, because it will make people enjoy a different country, and that's another, it's like an excuse to see and take some holidays and enjoy it, not only with puzzles but with other stuff, go to restaurants and enjoy the different parts of the city. So that's really awesome too.
Yeah, and I hope to see in the future, now that we start have associations, so probably there will come that like one of the associations like can apply that we would like to organize this, and
Exactly.
that's how it works in a lot of sports. But yeah, personally for me, I also have a major issue with the Spanish that you speak in Spain. Like I was coming there, like I have no problem, I can understand everything, and I was trying to talk with the border control guy that where we going, and he did not understand where we're going. He was like, just give me the hotel receipt so I know where you're going. But yeah, it's funny to me. I think I also pronounce your name a little bit differently because the way you pronounce the J, like Juan or
Han. We say
so
Han.
it's very soft. And I think I don't know if it's a South American or something, but I do this like a with it.
Yeah.
To me, it's like a Alejandro. It comes very strong. And then another funny thing for me is that you pronounce puzzle like puzzle, and I call it purle.
Yeah.
La casa de purle.
Yeah.
A very strong R, and I was like, wait a second, what Spanish is this?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but that's so much fun. I hope we're not going like ruin your schedule for today, because I still have more like speed puzzling tips related questions.
No problem. I'm totally free, as I told you, so that's nice.
I know, but I'm like, in Finland, it's like it's very hard for me. I think Finnish culture is so different. So I always have the question, because I feel like talking with people, especially from South Europe, they're so polite. So I always question myself. If you say you have whole day free, then I'm like, do you?
Oh, yeah, we have. Yesterday was holidays, so I could relax, and today I did some work during the morning. I'm working today at home because this week we don't have classes at university, so that makes me work at home today and tomorrow. So yeah, I can spend the rest of the day doing some work and now enjoy this conversation.
Okay, perfect, because there are some questions. I think we went through this already in the little bit beginning, but if you could tell again, because people are so interested in this, like I know your approach to every puzzle is pretty much the same what I've seen you do in the competition, but how do you start a puzzle? What is your like flow from the beginning?
I turn off all the pieces and then I separate the edges. Then, if it's possible, so it's, for example, I took as example the last World Jigsaw Puzzle final. I tried to do regions that contain some of the edges. So I can do the edge and then I can put some pieces. In that case was a sky. So I start taking only the pieces from the sky, I assembled them, and then I have this as a help to do the rest of the sky with the other pieces. Then I try always to find regions that in certain manner can be next to the one that I have assembled, because in this way I have these pieces already assembled that can help me to fit and find the correct one. And then I started, in that case, I try to do the top part of the buildings from one color to distinguish the most possible one. So maybe I can take one sort of all buildings, and then when I have them, I can split it in 2, 3 if I am able to separate them and do like that, these different regions. Of course, as I told you, on the moment that I believe, and that's maybe something that people has to practice, no? When they find that they are not putting pieces at a correct speed, because everyone has its way, but I believe it's important that someone knows how is he doing the puzzle. Is he doing quickly? Is he spending some time to know what is happening, no? So when do you feel that you are not doing quickly some region because it's difficult or you are having problems to find all the pieces, start with a different one.
Yeah.
In my case, I usually do the edges. I finish all the edges and it makes me like 2-3 minutes to disconnect from the previous region and only waste the time doing the edge. And then start with a different region, find a different kind of pieces and try to do them. And keep, as I told you, keep always some easy part to finish it in some point. So, for example, for the final, I left the building, the chairs for the end. Of course, the end was only the chairs, were the more difficult ones. But yeah, at some point, I could have the easy part of the edge, some details of colors that I didn't do it at the beginning, so I could do it later. And it helps me to have this balance of time that I don't feel I'm wasting time during the assembling process.
Yeah, that's a very extended explanation, really good one. Thank you. And we also discussed this earlier. You said that when you kind of like get stuck or struggle, you do the edges. So just to specify, so you also struggle?
Yeah, that's something that it seems that I cannot say, because it's like if I say I'm a struggle when I finish in first place or I do a good puzzle, it's like, come on, it's something that it seems impossible to say. But yeah, I compare both World Championship and, as I told you, the first one, I I didn't feel in any moment that I was like having problems.
Mhm.
I only make a mistake that was when I was finishing the pin house, I put all pieces inside
Yeah.
and I could not assembling them, and then I had to take outside again. But that was only the only moment I said myself like, "Come on, what did you do?" But yeah, last contest, previous one, 2023, I had more problems in the assembling process, and in some part I feel like, oh, something is not going well, so try to change a little bit. Yeah.
I'm not thrilled for the fact that you also struggle. I'm just thrilled that you actually were able to explain it very well. And I was so happy with the example that you said that you put in the middle and then you couldn't get it together.
Yeah.
Because I always talk about that. That's kind of like a mistake to avoid. But then some people like argue, but yeah, but if you're good enough, that would never happen. But yeah, I do that also, putting pieces middle and then realize that, oh no, and then taking them out because they're on your way and then you can't do anything else.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God, that is so great. Like not, you know what I mean. Then there's a question that what do you think is kind of like your strengths when doing the puzzle? Is it kind of like you understand the colors well, the piece shape, something else, spatial awareness?
Yeah, I believe when I compare with my dad or when I doing puzzles with other people, maybe my strength is the ability to identify the colors, to identify little details. So
Mhm.
maybe there is a piece that contains only a very small part of a color detail, and I can manage to know that that belongs to this specific region. And yeah, I believe my best strength is the possibility to have all pieces split it on the table and be able to find the 5, 4, 10 that I know that will be together in a small region.
Yeah. Yeah. When you flip the pieces in the beginning, do you just kind of like flip as fast as possible without thinking anything, or are you already like flipping and kind of scanning like what are you seeing there and what could
Yeah,
you?
of course, something that it's important to note that we already discussed is that don't 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 want to do the puzzle only with the image. Don't do the puzzle with what do you feel about the image, because maybe later it's something totally different. So yeah, it's a balance about how the image can help you to sort, and then when you are, as you say, explaining sorting the pieces and turn off, if you are already seeing that some pieces have a particular texture, have a particular color that you can identify, that helps a lot. So maybe yeah, during the sorting process, when I putting away the edges, I'm trying to focus on the pieces, how they are and how can I sort them.
Yeah. And I think one misconception is always like people think that you're all the time kind of like moving, but it's also the fact that we don't have too much because you don't post content that much yourself. And in the live streams, we can actually just see moments there and there. But I've seen some clips and you're just like looking at the pieces like any else of us. There is a question. I'm not exactly sure what they are looking for, but they ask how to reduce unnecessary movements that might waste time.
Yeah, that's a good question. I'm have the advantage in that sense that I've been doing puzzles with both hands.
Mhm.
So in this sense, I can do both of them. So of course, I believe without thinking, that's the point. No, I don't want to think that I want to use my left hand to take this piece to put the piece on this part of the puzzle. I believe it's automatically that if I have to put a piece on the left side of the puzzle, I will use my left hand. And
Mhm.
if I'm doing the right part of the puzzle, I will use my right hand. That's something automatically that I've developed, practicing and doing puzzles all my life. But yeah, I believe that you have to organize the table and the space in the most clear way possible. I always try to split all the pieces on the table, but leave some space on the middle for the puzzle. The benefit is that as all Ravensburger puzzles have the same size, if you have practiced a lot with them, you know already which is the exactly space that you will need to assemble it. And then, yeah, you can put the all other pieces next to it and try to put always the pieces the most close to the puzzle. I don't like to put the pieces inside or above the same puzzle that I saw that some people do, that put the pieces above the puzzle. And when you are only with maybe the last 50, 100 pieces, I always try to put them all together only in a region to have the ability to look the piece.
Yeah.
You don't have to look on the table, only a region of pieces, and they try to take the piece and put on the puzzle. That's maybe my advice, my type.
Yeah, space management is quite important. I'm not sure, I don't know how is it in other Spanish competition, but I do have to point out that you do have kind of like the benefit that you are, because you're the best of the best. So you usually have a table for yourself. Rest of us are like split the table with two people.
Yeah, that's something that
That causes at least issues for me because I have to put those on bottom. I agree that you should not put on top, but I don't have space anywhere else if I'm sitting on top.
It's something that I believe it's not good for the contest, that some people on the same contest have to do the puzzle in a table alone, and some of them have to share the table with another person. I know that it's done due to the space and to split the participants, but yeah, I believe also I can use all the table. The space to put the pieces, it's more or less the same. I try to use always the same because, for example, for the nationals, for the Spanish championship, in that case, we all have to share the table with you, with someone. And in this case, are the same conditions of the World Championship when you share the table. But that's the point. Trying to use in the most good way the space of the table.
Willy has opinions as well. Willy, what are you doing? Would you mind? More quiet, please. Okay. Yeah. That makes sense. And yeah, I just I think I was fine with the space. Of course, I also had the benefit that on the classification round last year I had also my own table. So I didn't have issue with that. But the semifinal with the round puzzle takes so much more space. And I had layered my puzzle pieces like in 3 layers.
To be honest, I believe, I don't know if they will do the same, but maybe we can say it was like a mistake to put a round puzzle for this space when you have to share the table. Yeah, maybe for that case it's not enough, and you had the disadvantage to have to split and organize better and don't have this free space to put all the pieces and assemble the puzzle.
Yeah, that's why I always recommend people to practice with the right measurements at home beforehand, at least that you know, because it comes as a big surprise how little the space can be, especially with the round puzzles. But there is actually a very interesting question. I don't know if we're able to answer this. I actually know this is one of my YouTube subscribers. I've talked about this before, but it's asking, do you have any tips how to solve puzzles without colors? I'm color blind and I struggle with red, green colors. Billy, please.
Maybe on this kind of puzzles, the most useful tip is to organize the pieces for the shape and look the details. The most possible details that you can identify. So take into account the lines, take into account maybe some textures, some details. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a hard question. To be honest, I don't have any friends or anybody in my circle that would be colorblind. So I don't really have, I feel like I don't have enough information of how does it feel or how does it look. I think I might be doing like tips for black and white puzzles at some point to my YouTube. So maybe that
Yeah, that could help.
similar
I believe, yeah.
situation.
Yeah.
I would love to hear a comment to that from the person who actually sent this question, because I feel like it might be also a sensitive topic. So I don't want to talk too much because I don't really know. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, there is definitely like ways that I feel like are similar with the black and white puzzles that we
Yeah.
also do. This is a little bit awkward question. Do you watch my YouTube videos ever?
I don't. I only have seen some of them, but yeah, maybe because this fall of time, I know a lot of people like Karen Puzzles and you that do a lot of material, but to be honest, I have not seen these videos, so I cannot say I'm a YouTube follower in this sense.
Yeah, I only ask this because I'm just interested that if you have seen me doing puzzles, if you would have had any specific tips for me.
I have seen some of your videos. I have seen you doing puzzles I believe it's your kitchen, no? Or this
Yeah.
space that on this table that you have. That I don't know, to be honest. How do you manage to do the puzzles on that? So that's awesome. Um, but I have not look a lot of this content
Yeah.
that you do.
Yeah, and it's also most of the times my videos are like in time lapse, so they go quite fast because I'm so slow that I cannot put like a million hours long video videos to YouTube. That doesn't obviously work. I think my biggest issue is that it's funny to me when you said that, if you have done enough Ravensburger puzzles, you know the size and stuff, but I do not understand the size. I fail with it. Even with the edges, I don't understand like how long is each direction. And then when I have like puzzle island in the middle, then I usually place it a little bit funny, and I'm having a hard time that I don't understand when my puzzle island's already attached.
Yeah.
Anything you can give tips for that? I don't know if it's like my
I
cognitive
believe
skills.
on this sense, I believe it's practice and practice with this, of course, with the same brand of puzzle, because if you change this, of course, you cannot identify this space, you cannot identify this length of the edges, as you said. So yeah, we all know that Ravensburger is 25 pieces, but until you don't do a lot of puzzles, you will not manage to familiarize and know that there is something wrong, maybe that you are not finding some pieces, or you have a edge that is more larger than it should be, so maybe some pieces you made a mistake. So yeah.
Yeah, I think it might be just something I struggle in general, not just with puzzles. This is
Yeah.
funny. When I try to park a car, I don't see, like I see well, but I don't understand
Yeah, the
how
distance.
far things are from me.
Yeah.
I think it might be something related because it's not only like the car parking and puzzles. I also do that in other stuff that I don't understand how far things are from each other. So, you talked about like your process and everything, like also that like try not to get stuck and then do the edges if you do. How do you really like keep up the speed? A lot of people say that they kind of start with strong, but they kind of forgot that they are trying to be like fast. So
Yeah.
they could be faster, but they kind of go into this slower flow mode. Do you, for example, talk to yourself while you do a puzzle or?
Yeah, of course. as I told you, if you are managed to find the balance between what is the difficulty of the puzzle and your average time, so how are you doing, I believe you can encourage yourself to say, okay, you are doing great, keep following and doing the same, or something is not wrong, change. So I try to make these questions, no? I see if everything is okay, if I feel that I'm enjoying the puzzle, if I feel like I'm having problems with some pieces, I'm struggle with some part. So yeah, these questions help you to take some decisions that can help to better improve the assembling process.
Yeah, I also talk a lot. I try to talk inside, not out loud, but I usually speak out loud, which is a little bit funny. I noticed that the Federation added in their rules, official rules, that you cannot vocalize or sing while you're doing the puzzle.
Yeah, they put, yeah.
And I'm like, maybe I talk so a little bit loud sometimes, but it helps me actually. So my husband is like a software developer. So in the world of IT, there is this like a rubber duck method that you have rubber. So if you have a bug in your code and you need to do debugging, so you have a rubber duck on your desk and you talk to the duck. You gonna explain it through, and then you usually realize your own mistakes while you're explaining it to the duck.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I kind of follow that technique. So I will kind of like see what am I doing, but also keep myself in the moment. So I don't go into this like daydreaming.
Yeah.
But yeah, get a rubber dog. It maybe works. Pair puzzling is a little bit different from doing just a solo competition. Any tips for pair puzzling?
Yeah. Of course, do the puzzle with someone that you have good feelings, that you know each other. Which parts do you love more? What parts do you hate? Try to split and separate the tasks as much as possible to try to not interrupt the other. So yeah, in my case, another important thing is know which puzzle will be, because for example, Educa, this Spanish brand, the pieces are only vertical or horizontal and it's the same shape.
Mm-hmm.
So in this sense, if you are having problems, you can say to the pair, okay, you will do all the verticals, I will do all the horizontals, and in this case, you will not interrupt each other.
Mm-hmm.
In case of Ravensburger, that's not happened. So the only thing is, well, you can split all pieces in different shapes when you are struggling with a particular specific region with the same color. But otherwise, I believe you have to split the puzzle the most possible. Yeah, and try to talk. That's a problem during the World Jigsaw Puzzle. If we cannot talk, in pairs will be awful. Because yeah, you have to talk with the other one and say how is he feeling. No, how is the other person putting the pieces, if she's okay or not, and then try to help. Try to help the most possible. Yeah.
I think it's very hard. I think a lot of people can feel the same thing, that when you do, especially if you're good speed puzzler, so you kind of like, you split the roles and you kind of do your thing, but you don't really, it's very hard to pay attention to the other person. What are they doing?
Yeah.
So you're like focused on your own. But I have noticed from some video clips from the live streams that you actually, it looks funny, but you sometimes to your pair, you're like pointing where her piece goes. So are you actually able to focus on your own things and at the same time see what your pair is doing?
Sometimes it's something that they do, because sometimes well, if I'm looking, for example, for a particular piece and I don't find on my path, I know that if it's not missed, she has in that in that case was, I know the video because was with Gisela, I believe, and I know that Gisela had the piece. And yeah, sometimes it's automatically that maybe you are looking some pieces and you look your pair with a piece on his hand, and then you already know that this piece belongs to a particular part. So you can point and say this piece that you have go in this part. So yeah, but in my case, the benefit, for example, to do puzzle with Gisela is that we have totally different feelings, so totally different things that we love to do. I don't like to do the edge. I keep, as I told you, for moments when I'm solo, when I have to gain time. She needs to do the edge part. So in this sense, we manage so well because she starts with the edge. I start doing the regions that I like. She loves all details. I love regions with same colors. So if you find a pair and if you are trying to compete, be on top of the contest, I believe it's important to find a pair that can help you to have this balance. No, you the strength at the point that you are not so strong that the other person can do it.
Yeah, I think it's really like, especially like, even if you're a little bit similar, but it's important to know what your pair is good at and what you're good at, and kind of like the communication.
Exactly.
All over. But then it gets even a little bit more complex. We have also team puzzling. So some tips for that.
For teams, I believe, and it's something that I have experienced. For people, for a 1,000 piece puzzle, in sometimes can be a lot of people. I believe can 8 hands doing a 1,000 piece puzzle. Depending on the puzzle, if you cannot divide it in 4 different parts in lot of regions that each person can do, that these mini puzzles can be so much.
Yeah.
So my advice is that, of course, if the puzzle can be divided in a lot of regions, do it, and each one have its own part. In case that not, that it has more tricks, I believe that, I don't like to use this word, but maybe one of the team members has to be sacrificed to maybe do like a more task to do the sorting, do a special sorting of regions with more or less colors, but there are differences. That maybe if there is one region that it's totally with the same color, to split these pieces with the shape. And yeah, I believe you have to find the balance, but it's not it can sound strange, but maybe the best way to finish this 1,000 piece puzzle is one person to do the sorting, to make you the easy part to split everything by shape, by colors, by anything, and then the other 3 people do the puzzle and only focus on assembling, and have someone that when you finish some pieces, it gives you a new region to assembling. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree that I've done a lot of like mathematical modeling for pair puzzling so far, to see different kind of scenarios. For example, if you have a faster one and slower one, like how should they split the things? I have some results there. Actually, I'm publishing today a tips video for pairs puzzling for whoever is watching this week ago. But I haven't done yet for teams. I'm actually starting this mathematical programming. So we're currently collecting multiple factors and everything, trying to find the functions that we can analyze. We're using also video analyzing for this. I've done a lot of people doing the same puzzle, so we can see their individual differences. And this is really hard to explain because this goes even over, like this requires somebody who has actually a programming degree. Luckily, I know a person. So I'm done. But yeah, I agree that all results that indicators have already received at this point kind of like say that there might be sometimes that there might be, as you said, sacrifice. Okay, sounds a little bit extreme, but sometimes, for example, the slowest or slower person needs to do more like a supportive task if you really want to kind of like win. And this even applies if you have the best 4 speed puzzlers from your country, because somebody's always the slowest. So it still kind of like applies in that case. Yeah, but I think I will have those results maybe later this year, maybe in July. But yeah,
That's
I
me.
say a little bit obsessed.
Yeah, but no, it's so good material, I believe. Yeah, you can give people these studies to try to, yeah, to new the strategies. Yeah, it's so nice.
Yeah, I try to bring something new to the world of speed puzzling because I have a different kind of, I don't know, methods, point of
Yeah,
view maybe.
yeah,
Uh,
that's good. That's always fantastic. Yeah.
yeah, and it's also fun for me. I like to do this because I do a lot of analyzing and stuff like that for a living.
Yeah.
I need to find the ways to make the most money for my clients and and stuff like that.
If
So
you love, you have to do it. And well, that's all. That's related, no? At least if there is one of the team members that maybe love this part of something, I know that all people that do puzzles love to assemble a puzzle, of course. But there, I knew that there are people that already love to do the sort. So for them, sorting the pieces are always a good point, a good time. So in this case, if one of the team members has this advantage that they like or he like to do this, maybe he's the most appropriate to do this part.
yeah, that definitely makes sense. And I have said this multiple times in my other videos, but I actually enjoy more coaching and commentating live streams than actually competing. So I don't know what future will hold for me, but I hope to do a lot of more like commentating. I was also in the Swedish Nationals commentating their live stream. It's so much fun for me just to talk and kind of like analyze
Yeah, that's good. That's so nice.
and coach, kind of like do, because I think it's easier to watch from the outside in to what other people do.
Yeah.
So it's easier for me to coach other people than coach myself because I'm kind of in my own bubble. I've already
Yeah.
made my mind. I would benefit from another speed puzzling coach. But yeah, I really love that. But what do you think that obviously I did my first puzzle in May 2022, and then I started doing them more frequently just last year. Do you think I actually have any chance to be, let's say, in top 20 someday?
Well, of course. I know that you told me your evolution, and it's quite awesome. Awesome because it's not easy for someone new in this world like you that has never do a puzzle until 2 years ago. So of course, I believe that with if you are managing to do puzzles in with these good times, maybe if you keep practicing and you like it, of course, why not? You can be on the 20 top. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like anybody can. When I started doing my tips videos, I have a lot of people. I know a lot of people in Finland who has the similar uh background or have even done a lot of puzzles their whole life, but still they're kind of like stuck with that 2 hour or hour and a half. And I've seen, like, for example, the last half a year, these kind of people reaching the under hour, and just it's amazing to me
Yeah.
that they just found a way to how to practice and being more aware what are your weaknesses, because I can give general tips like, hey, this is your issue, this is a solution, but obviously I cannot say to an individual person through a YouTube channel that, because I personal coaching is different, then specifically what that
Yeah,
person.
of course, of course.
So even if I or we give tips here, then you also need to still know what works for you. You cannot just copy paste. You need to a little bit think, like, I think
Yeah,
that's the most important when you practice. You need to know what are you doing.
exactly. Yeah, definitely.
But what would you say are the biggest mistakes that you can do in speed puzzling, or if you have done some major mistakes that you regret, or
Yeah, well, for my opinion, of course, everyone has its own strategy, but biggest mistakes that you can do in speed puzzling is For example, what I told you, not organize well the space. So I'm a way chaotic in the sense that I don't sort all the pieces, but inside my chaos, I'm organized because I know that all pieces I have split it more or less in with the same in the same space, so I can take a look in two sides, and I already seen all the pieces. So the main mistake is not to put the pieces in a correct position. That maybe you are not looking all of them, and you have to take lot of looks. So try to put the pieces equally distributed. Then, in my opinion, my personal opinion, I don't like to put the pieces inside the puzzle or above other pieces.
Mhm.
I know that most people do it and put maybe red pieces above black or white sky, and you already see it, but I don't like it. I prefer to have all the pieces in same conditions,
Mhm.
so above the table. And maybe the last mistake that you can have is trying to feel this pressure, no, to leave that the pressure gains you and makes you think that you are horrible, that you are doing so bad, and that you're not yet not enjoying. Trying to change his mind, trying to take maybe a moment of disconnection to say, okay, it's not working on this way. Let's try a different one. And yeah, trying to find this.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. This is maybe another weird question, but I said earlier that lately I've been a little bit struggling to. I compete so much, and I'm so in the all my puzzle project website, YouTube, whatever, that I'm having really hard time to actually enjoy puzzles. So, what would you recommend for me to find the joy of puzzles again?
Yeah, you must enjoy the puzzle. So I know it can be difficult because you are a person that you are developing lot of different material. For me, it's easy because I do puzzles for hobby at home or to practicing with 500, and I'm only on this. I know that you can do different stuff, so different contests, puzzles, repeated, different ways to find analytics, trying to find types, trying to do 1,500 different strategies. And I know that with all this kind of material, it's difficult sometimes to enjoy a particular thing. But yeah, my recommendation is that if you are not enjoying when you are doing 3, 4, 500 piece puzzles in a row, so maybe one week you are only focused on 500 piece puzzle, and you believe that with the first one you are not enjoying, the second one neither, and that's something that keeps going. Maybe take a little time only for this kind of puzzles and do other ones, because something that I believe is that if you love doing puzzles, I don't really believe that you can hate it in some moment. Maybe you can have some moments of life that maybe you don't like or you don't want to do puzzles. But I believe if you have already like doing puzzles all your life, you will finish your life doing puzzles and loving them. So then, yeah, take a little moment to disconnect from the puzzles that you are not enjoying and focus on the content that you believe you are doing great and you are happy with that.
Yeah, I should stop like forcing. The reason why I'm so worried for this feeling is because when I used to play in the Finnish national team, my sports career actually, it's a little bit still mystery how did it end, but I wasn't only playing, I was also coaching. I worked for the association. I was in the board of my own club's board. And I was doing a lot of like stuff, and I played in multiple teams. I played in adults. I was still underage, so I also played with juniors. I was playing in the national team, and mixed coaching, I think 2 teams. I was also organizing events. And
Yeah.
in the end, I actually got physically sick, and the doctors could never find anything. But I got so sick that they told me that if I ever play again, I will die on the field. So I actually had to just stop everything. The last time I played was in the World Championship 2014, and I came home. I've never done anything pretty much after that. So I'm like all the time. I was in the puzzle podcast last year, and I said the same thing that for 10 years I've never had a hobby, like a specific hobby, for this exact reason that I know that I'm very much unable to do anything without starting to obsess over it. And I said my therapist would be so happy when I said I started doing puzzles, because it's considered like so relaxing and balancing out. And then like year later, oh yeah, I'm going to the World Championship, and I just started YouTube and TikTok and Threads and Instagram and Facebook and my website and
that's crazy.
Oh yeah.
No, but I believe that the good point of puzzles is like this. No, it gives you the opportunity to do all kind of different stuff. So maybe if you believe you are not enjoying speed puzzling, you can say, okay, I will do a big puzzle, a 20,000 piece puzzle from my YouTube video, showing all the evolution, showing all your feelings, and I believe it can help you a lot to disconnect and enjoy doing puzzles and loving them.
Yeah, exactly. Your own life. Can you imagine your own life without puzzles?
No, to be honest, not. I have a lot of puzzles that I didn't do, so I keep them here at my home, and I've bought some special puzzles that I would like to do. And I know that today it's not the moment. For example, I bought 1 year ago the 24,000 piece puzzle of life from Educa. And I want to do it, maybe like a project. Maybe I can do a YouTube channel, as I told you, when I find the moment, when I believe I can have time to do it. But yeah, I believe that when I will keep growing, I will doing puzzles. Maybe I will start. It's crazy, maybe it's like I don't know, people knows it's the Gauss profile. It's like a statistical profile that keeps from below to the top and then goes below again. So maybe with these puzzles makes me the same, I start doing only big puzzles, then now I'm in the moment of doing 500 piece puzzles from contests only, and then maybe in some years I start again to stop doing contests and go away to the big puzzles again.
Yeah. Another question. I read from somewhere that you have a tattoo related to Harry Potter. Are you planning to have a tattoo related to puzzles as well?
Yeah, that's a good question, because I've already decided to have it. I have some designs and I only have to find the moment and go and do it. But yeah, if everything goes as planned, I will have a little tattoo of three piece puzzle, which represents me and my parents. So yeah, I don't know if it will be this year, but at worst next year I plan to have it maybe on my right hand in this part.
That's cute. That is so cute. You know what? I'm getting to the end of my question list. I had this one question. Where is the puzzle cake recipe?
What? Sorry?
You posted the story that had a cake, puzzle cake.
Yeah.
Was it for your birthday or something? Do you have a recipe for that? How can I make cake like that?
Oh yeah, I can share maybe one day the recipe. Yeah, I went to a supermarket and I found, I don't know the word in English, but yeah.
It's in Spanish.
In Spanish is molde. One moment, I will. One moment.
Recipe in any language works for me.
That has the shape of the pieces. A mold, vale? It seems that maybe in English it's the same, like a mold for cake and make biscuits. So I use it do the shape of the, well, they exist with the shape of the piece, and then yeah, I can share the recipe of this cake puzzle that was for my birthday. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Now, yeah, I know exactly what. Okay, great. I have to have it. I have birthday in 2 weeks, so I want to make a cake.
Fantastic.
Yeah. But honestly, do you have anything to add? This is your moment because I am out of questions, so to say.
Well, I enjoyed it a lot, this conversation with a lot of these questions that for me was so fun to talk with you. I have some questions for you too. I don't know
Yes,
if
bring it on.
yeah, I will like, I know that you will already explain that, but I would like to remember which was your first time doing a 500 piece puzzle and which is your personal record.
So when I started doing puzzles, I was gifted 2 puzzles, so obviously I never took time. And those, I think this is very similar to you, that before you found speed puzzling, you only have that like these 2,000 piece puzzles or bigger. And then when I found out about the World Championship last year, and I took the time for my first 500 piece puzzles, then it was way over 2 hours. And I remember because I was already aware of the time limit that we have in the world, which is 90 minutes. And I was like how? I don't understand. Like, this is literally impossible. Like, I do not understand. I didn't even care about like your times and stuff. I was just trying to reach the max limit.
Yeah.
But I think that was around, it was maybe 4 or 5 months before the Worlds. Maybe half a year. Let's say half a year. I'm not exactly sure about the timeline. But by the time of the Worlds, my average time was like hour and 10 minutes. I did quite well. I think my times in the Worlds were like hour and 5 minutes is depending on the round, of course.
Yeah.
So there was already like a jump of 1 hour going away from my time.
That's a crazy jump. Yeah.
Yeah, and then afterwards, I feel like I got stuck with that 1 hour mark. But then this year, in January, I got back to speed puzzling, and my times were around like 50 minutes. They are still, I think it's like the average. Of course, it depends a lot on the puzzle. So some are, of course, faster, some are slower. But my average time right now is around the 50 minutes. And my personal record is that puzzle that I did 11 times, which is 29 minutes and some seconds that I cannot remember. Of course, that was doing multiple times. I think my record for doing a puzzle for the first time is 39 minutes. And it was the blue car puzzle from Clemente León.
Yeah, I know that's so good. I know that I believe the barrier of the top puzzles it's the 40 minutes. I believe that someone that can finish a 500 piece puzzle for first attempt in less than 40 minutes, yeah, is one person that can be on the top 20 of the world puzzles without a doubt. Yeah.
Yeah, but I do have like a lot of variation, and I also have the issue that as you can if you have seen some of my videos, as you said, I usually puzzle on my kitchen counter.
Yeah.
It's better for me because I can stand without like doing this back that goes like this. So it's better for me. Also, we have very good lighting on the daytime in this house, and but then sometimes, especially now with the competition, you also participated last week, the online one. So if I have to do with the normal competition table, which is lower, and then also if it's with the bad lighting, like nighttime, then it does a major change to my time.
Yeah.
So I really have to start also practicing with like bad conditions.
Yeah.
Because it affects so much. So I think I have like over optimized my circumstances, it doesn't really work too well for me, because in a competition you cannot really affect those factors. So
So nice.
but yeah, and I also I have done 100-piece puzzle in 5 minutes.
Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy fast. Yeah. I I don't 100 not. I believe 200 or 300 pieces. I don't remember. I did it in
You did one for
70.
Karen's video.
So yeah, maybe 70 minutes was my personal record on a 300 piece puzzle. So yeah. And last question, it's what are your impressions for next World Championship? So what are your feelings? Which positions have you in mind for all categories?
So, of course, I want to be the next world champion, but that is not realistic. Okay, so let's talk about realistic goals. So, I know there is like almost double the amount of people coming
Yeah.
compared to last year. So, I would assume there is also double the amount of like really fast speed puzzlers if the groups kind of go equally. So, to be honest, my only goal right now in the individual category is to make it to the final. My
Okay.
placement from last year, I think it was 82nd. So I'm kind of like hoping to keep that placement now that there's more people coming. For the pairs, I haven't really thought about, but hopefully also to the final. As long as they don't have that kind of like the Boston puzzle last year's final, which was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Please, anything else but then, okay, let's put it this way. My goal this year for the pairs category is to actually finish the puzzle in the final.
It will be, I don't know if you have seen the news, but it seems that that the final puzzle will be a 500 piece
Yeah,
puzzle.
it is, but it can still be something.
No, of course, if they put a 500 piece puzzle for pairs, they will find the most difficult one, because
Yeah,
I don't believe they want that the final competition of pairs can finish maybe
in 20
between
minutes.
20 and 30 minutes. Yeah, maybe they
Yeah,
don't want this, and they will find a difficult one. But
yeah,
yeah, hopefully, I believe that all people that reach the finals will finish it.
yeah. I'm sure about that. But then for the teams,
Yeah, tell me.
I am going to be with my team in that. I can't curse because of the YouTube rules, but I'm going to be on that podium.
Okay.
I am because you know what? We have very good, like, I wouldn't say that individually any of us except maybe Hanna is like one of the top speed busters in the individual category, but together we're like really good, and I'm really, really confident on my coaching skills because I analyze every puzzle that we do. I have like a 20-page long strategy guidebook for us. I'm kind of like a coaching. For example, I do everything perfect to the detail. For example, I always have that Ravensburger bag for our practice, so we got that covered. We're gonna start measuring the table, so we have the right measurements. There's a lot of like things I try. I have like the placements around the table based on everybody's weaknesses and strengths and everything. So I'm like really confident in that. And I also know it's because I think team puzzling is a little bit more new thing. A lot of teams are have like puzzlers from different countries, so they don't practice that much together. We have the benefit that my team, we live in the metropolitan area, so we can practice quite often. So I can also put these practices and methods and strategies into place. And I'm also doing the mathematical programming that I mentioned. So yeah, I have all my efforts in that one because I know I don't have a chance in individual. I don't think in pairs either. So if I want to win anything in World of Speed Puzzling, it's going to be this year when the level is not yet that high on teams.
Okay.
And with the coaching skills that I have and with the skills that my team have, they're really putting everything to practice. So yeah.
Nice.
It's said,
Okay.
it's out there now, so now I have to
Okay.
execute.
everything it's bad to the teams then. Yeah, nice.
So yeah, I don't know what other expectations do I have of the event itself. Hoping to meet new people. A little bit
Yeah,
also
me too.
afraid for that.
Me too.
To be honest, I hope there is not too high expectations for me as a person. I think it's very different to see me on a video talking, but when you meet me in real life in a different situation, I think I might be even more colder than I am now. But yeah, I'm just and I'm also excited to go to Spain, of course. That's always nice. And it's
Yeah.
nice that it's not in the middle of the summer, so it's not like overly hot.
No,
Uh,
exactly.
I'm a little bit afraid for my health issues, because I do have major health issues, and mostly because of that, I have to be at home all the time. I traveled to the Swedish nationals, and and I got collided on the floor after the final, and they actually had to call to the like nurses and stuff. So I'm a little bit afraid. Also, in the Worlds last year, I didn't participate teams last year, so which was good because I got sick on the last day. I was sleeping on the side of the dome. So I'm a little bit worried for that, but I hope I will get like my doctors will get my medications and everything on place before that. So
I hope that. I hope.
yeah. Yeah, that's my feelings and expectations for the world.
Nice. So good. Fantastic then.
Anything else?
Um, well, just to finish, you will do a puzzle today?
Today? Oh, today, I don't know.
No?
Probably. I mean, I could do something, but I got a feeling that I'll be. Actually, I think I don't need to edit this video too much, but
Okay.
I might be hopping right into it. I'm also starting the speed busting kind of like a coaching program under my YouTube membership, so it's gonna be more like hands-on coaching, considering the members' needs and wishes. I'm excited to see how that goes, and still working
Nice.
on my website. And also, I actually have to work today because I am still running a full-time business,
Oh, so you have
supposedly.
to.
So I maybe need to also do actually work a little,
Okay, so yeah.
but
So,
maybe I'll do one of these like mini puzzles that I have.
nice. And that's my last question. Any project that you have in mind that you would like to do?
In general, or
YouTube, for example, puzzle video content. I don't know if you have something in mind. The big puzzle, organize an event.
I have a long list. I also already have like a content for haul this month, but that's mainly because the Finnish championship is this week. So not this week, but this month. So there will be content related to that. I'm also planning to go to the Norwegian and Danish championship,
Yeah.
visit the events. So probably something from there. The first tips video coming, or game already technically speaking, as whatever. Do I have any big project other than those that I already mentioned? I don't know. I'm planning to do this minion. You probably can't see
Okay.
it. Where is it? It's a minion impossible puzzle. Let's see.
Yeah, I see it.
I'm planning to do that for a YouTube video.
Nice.
And then I had a plan that I will do the Bears final puzzle. But I'm still traumatized from it, so I don't think that's gonna happen. And then I have 6,000 piece puzzle waiting. I have never done more than 3,000 piece puzzle because I have this dog. We made
Yeah.
a bird. So it's really hard to because it doesn't fit on my table.
Yeah.
So I'm still wondering. I'm like trying that maybe I will like book an office or something for a month and
To
do
do
it
the
there.
puzzle there. Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. There's a lot of stuff going on. And I have like huge pile of puzzles that I've never like done that are like waiting on my to-do. Do you have that? Do you have like puzzles that are just waiting to be
Yeah,
done?
definitely. Yeah.
Okay. It's okay. I'm not the only hoarder here.
No.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't really have like I'm just I'm trying to take your tip and kind of like enjoy puzzles for a moment. So probably gonna do some 1,000-piece puzzles without any filming or any like outsider things going on.
Yeah.
Just to enjoy it, not take any time or any.
Exactly. Do that. I will do the same.
A Eurovision puzzle. I have Eurovision puzzle from these mystery puzzles. So I think Eurovision is going to next weekend, not this weekend, next weekend, I think.
You can believe, yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna watch that and do that puzzle. That's for sure.
Nice.
Yeah,
Fantastic then.
yeah, that's my plans.
So good.
Yeah, but this was like a pleasure. I was like, it's so much fun to talk about puzzles. We have talked about puzzles almost 2.5
That's
hour.
crazy. Yeah.
I got a feeling this ain't gonna be one video. This might have to be 2 videos.
Could be.
For
Perfect
sure.
videos.
For sure. So there's probably gonna be 2 parts, but this has been absolutely pleasure. I just love talking about puzzles, and it was so interesting to hear from you. And actually, I was kind of happy when you said that you have not watched my videos that much because you were kind of saying a lot of same things that I've been saying. So it feels like, okay, I haven't given like completely bad advices if you
No.
agree with me with a lot of stuff. So yeah, and you're such a nice guy, so it's so much fun to talk with you.
Thank you. Has been amazing. I love it. And I really hope people that look your videos like it and keep following you and all your content. I will be a new one. I will try to to organize better my time and maybe dedicate some time not only to do passes but also to look this content that I believe it's so nice.
Oh yeah. Oh, one thing, because your latest Instagram post, your handle is Ale Puzzles, right?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Because you had the latest post where you did that we already discussed the town building houses puzzle. So I am planning to do that to compare the different sections that you put your times from section to section. So that I'm actually trying to do, and I think I will do it also to YouTube. It's
Nice.
probably going to be June. That's what I'm also like very, very excited about. And as said, if you ever have anything like wondering about social media, how could you do it even with less time, but with the standards that you have, then just hit me up. I would love to help with that, because this is just so much fun, and I really hope that everybody who's watching this found something new. I think your story was very interesting, and I feel like we clear up a lot of stuff today. For example, that you're not God.
Exactly. I'm not. Definitely.
Okay, you're still 2-time world champion, 2-time Spanish champion, the doctor, PhD, and teaching in university, and everybody loves you. So kinda, yeah, still god of speed puzzling, but it was so much fun. I think there's like a lot of things that maybe people haven't heard before.
Yeah. I really hope that. Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, but thank you so much. I
Thank
mean,
you,
we
you too, for the
really,
opportunity.
well, I was so happy when you initiated this. I mean, this was kind of like my dream come true, but I would have never asked you myself. I don't think so. So this was it. It's so much fun. I'm so happy about this.
Nice. Fantastic.
But yeah, to my viewers, I'll see you next time, and bye bye.
See you. Bye.